Hi, this is Nancy Joy, and this is Weekly Reflections, and I am literally just back from the Heartlights Dolphin Free Swim in Bimini, which is always incredible, but this time the most amazing thing happened, kind of showing us what's happening in the world, and it was just an incredible integration, so I'm going to describe it. But I want to start out with a quote that Sheldon Idle Colleen posted in Sheldon Idle's update that I think came out the day Sunday maybe. Anyway, it's about the Indigo Revolution, and coincidentally, the Dolphin Expedition boat that we go out on is named Indigo. So this is the quote. "This is what we have been waiting for, an expression of the new human, the fifth-dimensional human angel and crystalline being, who thinks collectively and is connected globally. And yes, there is turmoil as the old way of thinking, dualism and conflict, tries to come to terms with the rainbow warriors who think collectively and who operate from love and harmony. It's the Indigo Revolution." So there we are out on the Indigo, right? So this is the most amazing thing that the Dolphins created here. Over all the years I've done dolphin trips, I've gone out with two groups. Earlier on, I went out pretty consistently with the Dream team, Captain Scotty and his wife Robin, and I loved every moment of it. And then more recently, I needed to do grid work in Bimini with Atlantis on the Atlantean wall, and my last three dolphin trips have been on with Dolphin Expeditions, Captain Geoff and his crew, his amazing crew, on the Indigo. And Geoff knows, a little that I have a little conflict because, I'm used to going out the way Scotty does things, Geoff does things differently, whatever. It's all perfect. So this time we were called out to Bimini to work over Atlantis, and the Dolphins and Ezekiel told me it wasn't any more to heal and to put crystals all over the grid or anything. This time we were to work co-creatively, hand in hand with the Dolphins, to create a new reality out there on the sea somewhere, and that's what it said in the flyer that I sent out. So there we are on Indigo, and the second day we're out, before we had seen any dolphins, there's a boat way in the distance, and Captain Geoff came over and said, do you recognize that boat? You know whose boat that is? Well, no. And he said, it was way far away. And he said, that's the Dream. It's the Dream, Captain Scotty's boat. And it's, wow, what's that doing out here? He said, well, you tell me. You could tell he was kind of miffed, And he said, they're 120 miles south of here. Their territory, more or less, are the dolphins, the spotted dolphins and bottlenose, down off the north bank by West End and Freeport, in that area. And 120 miles up the other way is the Bimini Bank, and that's where for 20 years Captain Geoff has been the dolphin man, so to speak. And here appears the Dream. Well, of course, he was miffed, it's his territory. Well, around the same time that boat appeared, or pretty soon thereafter, lots of dolphins appeared around the boat. And so what the thing is you follow the dolphins, see if they're going to stop, and you get out in the water and interact with them. Well, they were on a mission. And over 4 to 5 hours, very slowly, these dolphins led Indigo in a circle, a spiral, overlapping circles of a flower of life, a grid, right? Also spiraling into a new dimension. And we couldn't tell if there were dolphins over by Scotty's boat, but of course Geoff said there wasn't. I don't know. I suspect that there was, but whatever, doesn't matter. Slowly we realized 4 hours later that these dolphins had led us in a huge spiral flower of life right almost next to the Dream. I mean, they were so close, maybe 50 or 100 feet. We could wave, we could see what they were wearing. And we did. We started waving and jumping up and down and thumbs up. Well, not the crew of the two boats, but the dolphin people aboard. And it was obvious, there were 9 of us on this trip, and it was obvious to the 9 of us after an hour or two what the dolphins were doing. And Captain Geoff said he had never once, he knew they know each other, they'd met at other places and all, but he had never once seen Scotty and the Dream in these waters in Bimini. Well, the dolphins knew exactly what they were doing. And once we got within range and we connected hearts with them, the dolphins left for the day. And it was so obvious to those of us, we just had goosebumps. We kind of just, and then the boats continued to play a cat and mouse game for the next 2 or 3 days we were out. The 2 boats with the dolphins were playing a cat and mouse game. And yet in our hearts, we knew exactly what had happened. This was a huge integration. Another integration was that the spotted dolphins and the bottlenose do interact somewhat, but with humans, the bottlenose tend to stay way off at a distance, so sometimes they'll get a little closer. Baby spotted dolphins look like bottlenose because they have no spots yet, but bottlenose dolphins are very recognizable. They're larger, quite a bit larger than spotted dolphins. And for the first time ever in either place, I found myself surrounded and in the water, surrounded and playing with, at the same time, spotted and bottlenose. The bottlenose came right up underneath me, looked me right in the eye. It was, again, a beautiful integration. So the last night on the boat, we do a channeling, and we did a channeling from Ezekiel about what this was about. I'm going to try to pull it up here just a second. I thought I had it. Hang on. Gotta go down a little further here. Okay. And so the Ezekiel said on the last night, and I'm going to kind of read this. The 9 Heartlights pod humans were called together to reveal an inner truth spoken and acted upon. Each one represented one of the 9 wounds of Atlantis. The dolphins created the grid between duality and integration, moving through personality, which there was some to move through, to a greater field. This was an integration of the North Bank dolphins and the Bimini dolphins, for which 9 humans consciously held a space of love. And then he said to us, you created a beautiful, healed field over the ruins of Atlantis. You returned to do this. Although Atlantis was huge and covered a vast amount of territory, it was at this exact location where the 2 boats met that the Merkaba that went out of control on the continent and it created the huge imbalance point. So that created a vortex, almost, I want to say, a black hole. And Ezekiel went on to say, your hearts were the field of creation. Look in the eye of the dolphin and keep creating the magic. Call in the dolphins and the flower of life and tap into the beautiful field that integrates opposites into a beautiful new opportunity. So, I don't want to carry on with this. In the written portion of this, I have a link to the little dolphin clip where they swim right up to you and look in your eyes so you can feel what that feels like. And also I have the link to Sheldon Neidl's article on the Indigo Revolution. So none of this is a coincidence. All of this is magic. And I invite everyone to revel in this cellular shift that I am certainly feeling from the tip of my toes to the top of my head, and have been since I realized what those dolphins were doing. They were on a mission, and they needed us, the 9 of us, to co-create that field with them. They needed the human and the cetacean interaction. And so it's completed, it's done, and well, the Captain Scotty and Captain Geoff, etc., were still squaring off out there. They are forever changed by this too, and how that will manifest, I'm sure we will see. So enjoy this powerful time. To me, they were showing us exactly what's happening on our planet, that the grid is formed. There's no way it cannot integrate the polarity at this time, and that wound that created the disconnect when Atlantis was sank is healed. I'm not saying we're the only 9 people who did it, of course not, but I am saying this was our part. And it always makes me sing when a group gathers for a Heartlights trip and we all at once, all at the same time, feel exactly what it was about and exactly what was happening. So have a great week. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. If you're watching this on YouTube, you don't have the links because, I don't know, when they redid the YouTube channel, all the links I used to have on the side disappeared. But you can go on my website and click on Reflections, and this one will be the first one at the top. So have a great week. We'll be back with you next week. Bye-bye.